Let us paint a picture that you might know all too well. It is late at night. The world is fast asleep. The only light in your room comes from the cold glow of a screen. You are sitting there with a heavy heart. You have a big vision. You have a goal that keeps you awake while everyone else is dreaming. But when you look around, the room is completely empty. There is no team. There is no partner. There is no crowd waiting to cheer you on. You look at your phone, hoping for a message of encouragement. There is nothing. No one is calling to ask how your progress is going. No one is sending a text to tell you to keep pushing. Your friends do not understand your drive. Your family thinks you are chasing ghosts. In this moment, a cold feeling starts to creep in. You feel invisible. You feel completely forgotten. This is the exact point where most people throw in the towel. They look at the lack of support and they walk away. They tell themselves that they cannot make it without a helping hand. They believe the lie that silence means failure. But today I want to show you a different truth. This silent room is not a prison. It is your training ground. This isolation is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are being prepared for something much bigger. The truth is simple. Sometimes you have to walk this path alone. Not because you are weak. Not because you are unloved. You have to do it alone because life is testing your resolve. It wants to see if you actually want this dream or if you just want the attention that comes with it. Anyone can show up when the sun is shining. Anyone can feel confident when people are throwing compliments at them. But your true character is revealed when the applause stops. Real strength is built when you keep taking steps forward even when nobody is watching. Today, we are going to talk about a mindset that will change your life. We are going to look closely at what it really means to do it alone. This message is for the tired, the ignored, and the unsupported. It is for anyone who is ready to stop waiting for a savior and start becoming their own hero. Pay close attention to these words. Let them sink deep into your mind. This is where your transformation begins. Part 1. The illusion of the rescue team. One of the most dangerous traps in life is the waiting game. We spend our days waiting for the perfect mentor to guide us. We wait for our family to finally understand our plans. We wait for our friends to tell us that we are doing a great job. We tell ourselves that we will start our project when we have more support. We promise to take action when life gets a little easier. But this is a massive illusion. There is no rescue team on the way. No one is coming to push you out of bed in the morning. No one is going to force you to do the hard work when you feel tired. If you spend your life waiting for a cheerleader, you will spend your life standing still. The perfect moment of support does not exist. You have to start right now, even if you are terrified. You have to take the first step when you are completely confused. You have to build your future when nobody is watching and nobody cares. Why do we wait so eagerly for other people to join us? The psychology behind this is very simple. We want safety. We want someone to hold our hand because walking in the dark is scary. When we have people around us, we feel secure. We also want someone to blame if things go wrong. If we fail alone, the pain belongs entirely to us. But if we fail with a group, we can share the disappointment. This fear of responsibility keeps us frozen. We beg for validation because we do not trust our own judgment. We look for outside permission to chase our own goals. But you must realize that you do not need a stamp of approval from the world. Your life is your own project. If you keep waiting for others to agree with your path, you are giving them control over your future. You are letting their doubt dictate your potential. Here is a harsh truth that you must accept today. Your dream was put into your mind, not theirs. It is a private vision meant only for your eyes. Other people cannot see the picture you have in your head. They cannot feel the fire that burns in your chest when you think about your goal. They do not know how desperate you are to change your life. And that is perfectly fine. It is not their job to understand your vision. It is your job to build it. Many people waste years of their lives waiting for their family to believe in them. They say they will start their business when their friends support them. But life does not work that way. Strong people are not born in comfortable rooms surrounded by cheering crowds. They are forged in quiet places where they had to rely entirely on themselves. Think about the real, everyday moments of this struggle. Picture yourself sitting at a desk, staring at a blank screen, trying to figure out your next move. Picture yourself standing in an empty room, sweat dripping down your face, with no one there to hand you a towel. Imagine waking up at 4 in the morning when the bed is warm and the house is freezing cold. There is no audience. There is no applause. There is only you and your choice. In these quiet moments, you must make a decision. Will you close your eyes and go back to sleep? Or will you stand up and face the cold? This is where real power is born. It is not born on a stage. It is born in the dark when the only person watching you is yourself. The moment you stop waiting for a savior, you get your power back. You stop blaming your parents for not understanding you. You stop complaining about your friends who do not share your drive. You stop begging for attention on social media. You stop crying because life feels unfair. You simply put your head down and do the work. If no one supports your new business idea, you still learn the skills. If no one supports your fitness goals, you still go to the gym. If no one supports your personal growth, you still read the books. Your life is your responsibility. Other people can offer advice, but they cannot do the push-ups for you. They can give you encouragement, but they cannot build your discipline. You must become your own coach, your own guide, and your own biggest supporter. When you learn to stand on your own 2 feet, you become truly unstoppable. Part 2. Becoming your own audience. There is a quiet pain that comes with working hard in the dark. You pour your heart into a project. You spend hours researching, writing, or building. You sacrifice your sleep and your weekends. You sweat, you stress, and you push your limits. Yet when you look up, nobody notices. No one sends a congratulatory text. No one leaves a supportive comment. It feels like you are shouting into a massive empty canyon. Your voice just bounces back to you. This silence can make you feel completely invisible. It makes you wonder if your effort is even worth it. You start to think that maybe you should just stop trying. After all, if nobody cares, why should you? But this is where most people get it wrong. They confuse silence with failure. They think that because nobody is watching, nothing is happening. Think about a massive skyscraper in the middle of a busy city. When people walk by, they look up in awe. They admire the shiny glass windows. They praise the beautiful design. They talk about how high it reaches into the sky. But nobody ever looks down at the dirt. Nobody stands on the sidewalk and praises the foundation. The foundation is buried deep underground. It is dark, dirty, and completely hidden from view. Yet that dirty foundation carries the weight of the entire building. If those deep concrete pillars were weak, the beautiful glass tower would crash to the ground. Your quiet work is that foundation. It is dirty, exhausting, and completely unseen. But it is the most important part of your journey. You are building the structural strength that will support your future success. Do not worry if people only praise the shiny glass. You must learn to value the dirt. When you depend on other people to clap for you, you hand them the remote control to your life. If they praise you, you feel happy. If they ignore you, you feel worthless. If they criticize you, you stop working. You become a prisoner of their opinions. This is a very dangerous way to live. People are fickle. Their attention spans are short. They will cheer for you today and forget your name tomorrow. If your motivation comes from their applause, your progress will die when the room goes quiet. You must take that remote control back. You must become the source of your own energy. The only way to do this is to learn how to clap for yourself. You have to become your own biggest fan and your own most honest judge. How do you actually clap for yourself when you are alone? You start by noticing the tiny victories that everyone else misses. When you wake up early on a cold morning, acknowledge it. Tell yourself that you did a great job. When you choose to read a book instead of scrolling on social media, celebrate that choice. When someone insults you and you choose to stay calm instead of arguing, recognize your growth. These are not small things. These are the daily battles that define who you are. You do not need a crowd to validate these moments. You just need to look in the mirror and say, I see you. I see the effort you are putting in. I am proud of the progress you are making. This is not about arrogance. It is about self-respect. It is about keeping your own fire burning when the wind is blowing hard. Most people are waiting for a grand finish line to feel proud. They think they can only celebrate when they get the promotion, the money, or the fame. But if you wait until the end to clap, you will run out of fuel long before you get there. The journey is too long and too hard to walk without encouragement. Since nobody else is going to cheer for your daily steps, you must do it yourself. Celebrate the fact that you did not give up today. Praise yourself for finishing that difficult task. Be proud that you kept your promise to yourself. When you build this inner support system, you become dangerous. You no longer need the world to approve of your choices. You can walk into any quiet room, look at your empty hands, and still feel like a champion. Your value does not depend on their attention. Your value comes from your consistency. Let the world be silent. Let them look past you. Let them ignore your late nights and your early mornings. Their blindness doesn't change the reality of your work. Every seed has to spend time under the dark soil before it breaks through the surface. It does not ask the sun to watch it grow. It just does the work of growing. When your season of visibility finally arrives, people will call you an overnight success. They will not see the months of silent struggle. But you will know the truth. You will remember the empty rooms and the quiet nights. And you will smile because you already gave yourself the only applause that ever truly mattered. Part 3. The lonely season is a training camp. There is a sharp pain that comes when you look out your window. You see the world moving on without you. You open your phone. You see your old friends hanging out at parties. They are laughing and living easy lives. They do not worry about their future. They do not spend their nights trying to build something from nothing. Meanwhile, you are sitting in your quiet room. You are staring at your work. You feel like a ghost. You feel like life has passed you by. It is easy to feel bitter in these moments. You ask why your life has to be so difficult. You wonder why you cannot just have fun like everyone else. But this quiet season is not a prison. It is a training camp. Life has removed the noise. You have a specific destination to reach. To build a new life, you must let go of your old self. When you are always around people, you absorb their energy. You listen to their small talk. You adopt their limited beliefs. You follow their daily routines. You become so busy fitting in that you forget who you are. That is why life isolates you. It forces you into a corner. Now you can finally hear your own thoughts. You cannot plan a great future while you are distracted by the crowd. You cannot build a strong mind when you seek approval from average people. This loneliness is a filter. It separates you from those who do not want to grow. It strips away the fake friendships. It destroys the useless habits that have held you back for years. It is a painful process, but it is necessary. You cannot carry your old baggage into your new future. Think about how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. It does not transform while flying in the open sky. It does not change while hanging out with other insects. It has to crawl into a dark cocoon. Inside that cocoon, there is no light. There is no space to move. There is no one to keep it company. To an outside observer, the cocoon looks dead. It looks like a useless shell on a branch. But inside that dark space, a total transformation is happening. The old form of the insect is dissolving. It is a messy and silent process. Without that dark struggle, the wings would never develop. If you cut the cocoon open early to save the insect, it will die. It never built the strength to fly. Your lonely season is your cocoon. It feels tight and dark. But this is the only place where your weak habits can dissolve. This is where your true strength grows. The biggest tragedy is not being alone. The biggest tragedy is wasting your alone time. Many people enter a lonely season and feel sorry for themselves. They lie on the couch for hours. They scroll endlessly through social media. They watch other people live their lives. They complain to anyone who will listen. They wait for a savior to drag them out of the dark. This is a massive waste of your potential. This quiet space is a rare gift. Do not waste it on cheap distractions. Do not use your isolation to destroy your mind. If nobody is calling you, read a book. If nobody is inviting you out, sweat in the gym. If nobody is checking on you, plan your next move. Build your body. Sharpen your mind. Learn a new skill. Plan your next 5 years. When you are alone, you have 0 distractions. You can focus with absolute intensity. Do not let this quiet season leave you the same way it found you. When you embrace the quiet, you start to ask the right questions. You stop asking why people do not like you. Instead, you ask who you want to become. You look at your daily habits with honest eyes. You see the lazy behaviors that have held you back. You see the excuses you have used to avoid the hard work. In the silence, there is no place to hide. You cannot pretend to be busy when you are just wasting time. This honesty is painful, but it is the foundation of real change. you begin to realize that you do not need a crowd to feel valuable. You do not need a partner to feel complete. You learn to enjoy your own company. You become your own anchor. This is how your strongest version is created. You do not get strong when life is comfortable. You get strong when you are under pressure. You get strong in the dark with nothing but your own determination to keep you going. Part 4. The magic of hidden work. We live in a world that is obsessed with the final result. People love the bright lights of the stage. They applaud the champion holding the trophy. They stare at the successful entrepreneur on the cover of a magazine. They want the public glory, the fame, and the respect. But almost nobody wants to talk about the private pain that made it possible. They do not want to think about the freezing cold mornings. They do not want to see the sweat pouring onto a dusty floor. They do not want to know about the thousands of hours spent failing in an empty room. The truth is that the stage does not create champions. The stage only displays them. The real work happens long before the lights turn on. It happens when you are completely alone, with no crowd to cheer you on, and no cameras to record your effort. This brings us to a very important question. Who are you when the doors are closed and the lights are low? Who are you when absolutely nobody is watching you? This is the ultimate test of your character. It is very easy to act strong when you have an audience. It is easy to work hard when your boss is standing over your shoulder. It is easy to behave when people are judging your every move. But what happens when you are completely alone in your room? Do you still keep your promises? Do you still do those extra repetitions, or do you start cutting corners? Do you cheat yourself because you think no one will ever know? Many people have a public persona that is strong and disciplined, but their private life is full of laziness and cheap distractions. They want the rewards of hard work without actually putting in the quiet hours. But you cannot trick your future. Your private habits will always determine your public reality. Every single thing you do in the dark will eventually find its way into the light. You cannot hide your true habits forever. If you spend your quiet hours scrolling on your phone, eating bad food, and making excuses, your future will show it. You will look weak when pressure comes. Your confidence will crumble when you face a real challenge. On the other hand, if you use your private time to build your mind and body, that will also show. Your posture will be different. Your voice will be stronger. Your eyes will show a level of focus that cannot be faked. This is the compound effect of hidden habits. Every small choice you make when you are alone is like a brick. You are either building a fortress of strength or a house of cards. The world might not see you laying those bricks today, but they will definitely see the structure when it is finished. Let us look at a real scenario. Imagine a cold, rainy night. The wind is howling outside, and rain is tapping gently against your window glass. Everyone else in your house has been asleep for hours. The neighborhood is completely silent. You are sitting at your desk, and your body is screaming at you to go to sleep. Your bed is just a few feet away, warm and inviting. This is the moment where the real battle is fought. There is no coach telling you to keep going. There is no friend watching your progress. There is only you, a blank page, and a choice. You choose to stay. You open your book and read another chapter. You grab your pen and write down your plans. You do one more set of exercises. This quiet room is where true strength is born. It is in these lonely, difficult moments that you prove to yourself who you really are. You are not doing this for the applause. You are doing this because you made a promise to your future self. When you learn to love the hidden work, you become a very dangerous person to compete against. Most people are weak because they require constant encouragement to move forward. They need a pat on the back every time they complete a basic task. But when you build yourself in silence, you do not need their fuel. You have your own generator. You do not care if they ignore your progress. You do not care if they do not see your sacrifice. You keep working because your standards are higher than their opinions. You are not trying to impress the crowd. You are trying to conquer your own limitations. This mindset takes time to build, but once you have it, nobody can take it away from you. You become self-reliant. You become emotionally stable. You become a force that keeps moving forward regardless of the weather or the noise around you. So stop looking for public validation for your private struggles. Do not post every workout on social media. Do not tell everyone about your early mornings. Keep some of your hard work to yourself. Let your progress speak for you. Let your results do the talking. The hours you spend alone are never wasted. Every single page you read, every sweat drop you shed, and every difficult decision you make in secret is building the foundation of your success. Keep working in the dark. Keep refining your skills when nobody is clapping. The world doesn't need to see your process right now. They only need to see your progress when the time is right. Trust the silence, embrace the hidden work, and keep building yourself brick by brick. Part 5. Protecting the vision from blind eyes. Think about the last time you had a brilliant idea. Your heart was racing. You felt a sudden rush of hope. You could see a different future right in front of you. You wanted to share this joy with someone. So you ran to a close friend. Or maybe you sat down with a family member. You opened your heart and told them your big plan. You expected them to smile. You expected them to share your excitement. But instead, they gave you a cold look. They started listing all the reasons why your plan would fail. They told you to be realistic. They said it was too risky. They asked who you thought you were to try such a thing. Just like that, the bright fire in your chest turned to cold ash. You walked away doubting yourself. You wondered if they were right. This is a painful mistake that millions of people make every single day. They hand their precious dreams to people who do not have the capacity to understand them. You must understand that people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. When someone tells you that your dream is impossible, they are not actually talking about you. They are talking about their own limits. They are projecting their personal fears and failures onto your path. If they have never had the courage to start a business, they will tell you that entrepreneurship is too dangerous. If they have accepted a life of quiet desperation, your ambition will make them feel uncomfortable. Your drive highlights their laziness. Your vision exposes their blindness. They do not want you to change because your growth forces them to look at their own stagnant lives. It is not always malicious. Sometimes they genuinely believe they are protecting you from disappointment. But you cannot let their fear dictate your destiny. You cannot let their small minds shrink your giant goals. The solution is simple, but incredibly difficult. You must learn to keep your mouth closed. You must practice the art of absolute silence. Stop trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop begging for their validation. You do not need their permission to build a better life. Your results should be the only explanation you ever offer. If you want to change your body, do not announce your new diet to the world. Just eat clean in silence. If you want to build a new career, do not argue with people who think you should stay in your safe job. Just study your books when they are sleeping. Let your hands do the heavy lifting while your tongue rests. Action has a voice that is much louder than words. When you talk too much about your plans, you waste the precious energy you need to execute them. You use up your mental fuel in cheap conversations instead of using it to lay bricks. Think of your new dream as a tiny green shoot breaking through the hard dirt. It is fresh, it is alive, but it is also incredibly fragile. A heavy boot can crush it in a second. A cold wind can snap its stem. It needs protection. It needs a fence around it. It needs time to grow deep roots into the ground. Your dream is that fragile plant. In the beginning, it is highly sensitive to negative comments. One sarcastic remark can make you hesitate. One doubtful look can make you throw away weeks of hard work. You must protect this delicate spark until it grows into a massive tree. Once that tree is fully grown, the wild winds can howl all they want. The storm can shake the leaves, but it cannot move the trunk. People can throw stones at the tree, but they cannot damage its core. But until you reach that level of strength, you must guard your vision with your life. Keep it hidden in the quiet soil of your mind. Feed it with daily discipline. Water it with silent sweat. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim your mental peace. You no longer feel the heavy burden of trying to make everyone understand your hunger. They do not need to understand. They do not have to walk your path. They do not have to live with the consequences of your choices. This is your journey, and you are the only one who has to pay the price for it. So let them think you are quiet. Let them think you have no big plans. Let them assume you are just living an ordinary life. While they are talking, you are building. While they are sleeping, you are learning. While they are playing, you are preparing. One day your growth will become too big to hide. Your success will make its own noise. And when that day comes, you will not have to say a single word. Your life will speak for itself. Part 6. The Unbreakable Promise. There comes a moment in every lonely journey when the weight becomes almost too heavy to carry. This is not just a regular day of feeling tired. This is the ultimate wall. It is the day when your mind starts playing tricks on you. It whispers that you have done enough. It tells you that nobody would blame you if you stopped. You look at your empty hands and wonder if you are chasing a fantasy. You feel the cold sting of exhaustion in your bones. But you must understand something critical about this moment. This is not the end of your road. This is the final exam. The universe is asking you one last question. It wants to know if your commitment is real. The absolute hardest point of the struggle is almost always located right before the breakthrough. When you feel like you are about to break, you are actually about to break through. You must make a decision today to change how you see yourself. Stop looking at yourself as a victim of circumstances. You are not a sad, lonely soul waiting for someone to notice you. You are not a helpless traveler hoping for a warm fire. You are a force of nature. You are the fire. When you walk into a cold room, you do not look for heat. You bring the heat with you. This shift in your mind changes everything. You no longer need a cheerleader because you have a warrior spirit inside you. You do not need a crowd to tell you that you are doing great. You know who you are. You know what you are building. When you accept this identity, the silence of the world stops being a threat. It becomes your power source. Walking this path alone is not a curse. It is not a sign of bad luck. It is a badge of honor. It means you are strong enough to carry your own weight. It means you do not need the crutch of public approval to stand tall. Most people are weak because they can only run when the weather is perfect. They can only work when they are surrounded by smiling faces. But you are different. You are learning to run in the dark. You are learning to build in the rain. This is what separates the dreamers from the builders. The dreamers want the crown, but they are afraid of the quiet battle. You are accepting the battle because you know it is the only way to earn the crown. Every single day you choose to continue without support, you are adding another layer of steel to your character. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. You are sitting in a beautiful room, looking out at a life you built with your own hands. You are successful, calm, and completely at peace. People are standing around you trying to get your attention. They are asking you for your secret. They want to know how you did it. They want to know how you stayed so strong when things got hard. And in that moment, you will look back at this exact day. You will remember the empty room. You will remember the cold nights when you wanted to cry. You will remember the silence of the people who doubted you. And you will smile. You will not feel anger toward them. You will just feel a deep, quiet pride. You will know that when the world turned its back on you, you did not fold. You stood your ground. You did it in the dark, completely alone, when absolutely nobody cared. This is the unbreakable promise you must make to yourself today. You must promise that you will not quit. You will not stop because the road is quiet. You will not stop because your friends are busy. You will not stop because you feel tired. You will make a pact with your future self. You will tell your future self, I will do the heavy lifting today so you can enjoy the view tomorrow. I will face the cold nights so you can live in the sun. I will carry the silence so you can hear the applause. This promise is not written on paper. It is written in your daily actions. It is written in the extra page you read, the extra mile you run, and the extra hour you work. When you make this promise, you become truly unbreakable. Nothing the world does can stop you, because you have already decided that you will not stop yourself. So put your phone down right now. Stop staring at that cold screen. Stop waiting for a notification or a message of support that might never arrive. You do not need a digital thumbs up to prove your worth. You do not need a text message to give you permission to grow. The truth is, you already have every single tool you need right inside your own mind. The fire is there. The focus is there. The strength has always been there. It is just waiting for you to stop looking outward for validation. Your future self is waiting for you at the end of this quiet road. They are watching you make your choices today. They are counting on you to stay strong when the room is empty. Do not disappoint that person. Pick up your tools. Put your head down. Step back into your quiet workspace and start doing the work. This is your moment. Build your life in absolute silence. Do it alone, do it with fierce belief, and let your results make the noise. You have the power to change everything. Now go and prove it to yourself.